NFL regular season is here as Joe Duffy's Picks enters the NFL regular season on a 17-6 football run. That includes hitting our only two wise guy plays of the college football regular season, led by that game of the year. Fox Sports 1 game of the year, Washington, in an absolute rout over Boise State. We also closed out the preseason, hitting our final four plays. But here it is, the regular season. I'm Joe Duffy, CEO of OffshoreInsiders.com. Let's take a look at the Baltimore Ravens and the Denver Broncos. The line is about 7.5, 8, with a total of 48.5. Let's preview that game. Now, first of all, because the line and the juice varies from sportsbook to sportsbook, as some of them try to cater to the square player, bait the square player, some of them have to deal with the sharps, etc. Our research has shown, and if you look on our YouTube channel and research our videos, the buying a half a point, first of all, buying a half a point is for complete suckers, absolute suckers, because you're paying 20% juice if it's on a key number, and even the 10% on a non-key number, still, more times than not, a bad bet. We find that a half a point is worth maybe 5 cents, up to 10, and a maximum of 11 cents. Sometimes when you're buying off or on 3, but you're paying 20 cents. So we will shop around for the best juice on this game, not necessarily the best pure number. Again, with a half a point being worth about 6 points when it's not on a key number in this game. Now, Denver's no Von Miller. That is big. I know we discussed it in some of our previous videos, but they averaged allowing 6 point more yards per play with him off of the field last year. Most importantly, Elvis Dumervil switching sides. They picked up a sack substantially more with both of those guys on the field. 8% of dropbacks compared to when both of them were off, 3.4%. Now, Dumervil is on Baltimore. The Ravens lost a ton of talent this year, most notably with Reed and Lewis. They did add Dumervil. They're going to have as many as 6 new starters on defense. The cupboard is not bare. Remember, Ray Lewis last year only played 6 regular season games. Also, Terrell Suggs is coming back healthy, but at the very least, Baltimore's defense should get stronger as the year goes on. Pretty good time to play them. Also, Peyton Manning, great decision maker, has the quick release. Only his brother Eli was sacked fewer times last year. And Manning now has that great security valve, Wes Welker, a hot read. Manning, very good at calling the audibles. And Welker, I expect those two to be on the same page pretty quickly because Welker used to those hot reads with Tom Brady. Now, on offense, remember, Anquan Boldin is gone. One of the most underrated players in the league for Baltimore, as is Dennis Pitta. So the Ravens, as far as their talent at wide receiver and tight end, Joe Flacco does not have the targets that he's had in the past. Now, you remember probably the best game of the playoffs last year. These two teams met. That's why it's no coincidence that they're playing on the first game of the year. Of course, the defending champions always play on the first game of the year. But the reason that Denver was their opponent, not just because of Peyton Manning, but as a great rematch of last year's playoff game in which 70 points were scored in regulation. Now, there were a couple on special teams and interception return, but that's going to happen when you have 70 points. So these teams pretty used to having quite a few points scored. It's going to be a deep Denver running game. As we said, brings back kind of some memories of when Mike Shanahan was coach. He either had that stud running back or he'd like to go with a deep committee. And that's what Denver has now. Obviously, Mike Shanahan long gone. He's in Washington, but Monte Bell, Noshan Moreno, Ronnie Hillman, another one of these guys, a lot of the sources that I trust say he could have a breakout year this year. So Denver with a very solid running game. By the way, we have Joe Duffy's Picks. We've got a wise guy play and a major play, and this is extremely rare that we have a wise guy play or that we have the side and the total on the same game. But some very specific reasons that we'll elaborate in the analysis at offshoreinsiders.com. Joe Duffy's Picks. And remember, brand new this year, requested, finally did it. There were some practical reasons why we held off on it, but This year, for those of you, and thank you so much to those of you signed up for the long-term pass, those of you got the full NFL or NFL and college season passes, you're going to be getting the plays earlier to beat those line moves, and we also use a lot of the same information that the Sharpies use, so even if we're not personally moving the lines, we're really, a hop step or whatever the saying is with a lot of the top Sharpies out there. So we want to get you the plays earlier. Get the full season package. Specific reasons this is going to be our best year ever, but most, really, in a nutshell, it is because we have streamlined our plays going back to the more old-fashioned handicapping techniques using all these great systems and all these great computer models, more so for collaboration. In previous years, we let it occasionally cancel out great plays that we would have had years ago. And after doing an internal audit, we've got our absolute best metrics ever. That's why it's no coincidence whatsoever. 17-6 as we enter the NFL regular season. It is going to be a spectacular year. Joe Duffy's picks at offshoreinsiders.com.